Hello and welcome back as we continue in our study of the Bible using these videos. Today we're going to be starting a new study and we're going to be looking at the book of Titus. We're going to be looking at Titus Chapter 1 and just get a small picture of what the Apostle Paul wrote to the young evangelist Titus. We're told in chapter 1 the very reason why Paul left Titus in Crete. Notice if we go to Titus chapter 1 and verse 5. For this reason I left you in Crete, that you would set in order what remains and appoint elders in every city as I directed you. Now, elders are such an important part of the Lord's church. It is the Lord's desire for all mature congregations to have elders ruling over them. Now, there's a lot of confusion about the terms that are used in the Bible that we found for elders. There are three terms. There's elder, there's overseer, and there is a pastor. Now notice, if we go over to Acts chapter 20 in verse 17, Paul is wanting to meet with the elders from Ephesus. Verse 17, from Miletus he sent to Ephesus, and he called to him the elders of the church. So there's a meeting with Paul with the elders. Now we get down to verse 28 of the same chapter, where he writes to them, be on guard for yourself and for all the flock among which the Holy Spirit has made you overseers to shepherd the church of God, which he purchased with his blood. You see, in this passage we see the three terms, elder, overseer, and pastor. The elder is quite clear. He's speaking to the elders. They're told to oversee and they're told to shepherd. Now this word, the word that we have for pastor, means a shepherd. The shepherd of the church is the elders. Really, these three terms, elders, overseer, and pastor, are descriptive terms of the office. Now let's go back to Titus chapter 1 and we'll read verses 6 to 9 now. Namely, if any man is above reproach, the husband of one wife, having children who believe, not accused of dissipation or rebellion, for the overseer must be above reproach as God's steward, not self-willed, not quick-tempered, not addicted to wine, not pugnacious, not fond of sordid gain, but hospitable, loving what is good, sensible, just, devout, self-controlled, holding fast to the faithful word which is in accordance with the teaching, so that he will be able to both to exhort in sound doctrine and to refute those who contradict others. Now there are many people who think, well, to be an elder you've got to be some sort of super Christian. Not so. The elders are mature Christians. All of us should be striving to be like this description here. For instance, we must be above reproach. We're not accused of dissipation or rebellion. These are just basic things of a Christian. We've got to be hospitable, loving what is good, not quick-tempered, not pugnacious as a fighter, not fond of sordid gain. No. What this is a description of a faithful Christian man. And we can all strive to be that. We can all strive to maturity. Of course, there are some who are not married who would not be suitable. Women are not suitable. But most of these things are just signs of a faithful Christian. And I want you to notice that when the Bible talks about elders, there is always more than one. Now, I'm going to finish off in 1 Peter chapter 5 and chapters 1 Peter chapter 5 verses 1 to 4. And here the Apostle Peter describes the work of an elder. Therefore I exhort the elders among you as your fellow elder and witness of the suffering of Christ, and a partaker also of the glory that is to be revealed. Shepherd the flock of God among you, exercising oversight, not under compulsion, but voluntarily, according to the will of God, and not for sordid gain, but with eagerness, nor yet as lording it over those allotted to your charge, but proving to be examples to the flock. And when the chief shepherd appears, you will receive the unfading crown of glory. Now, Titus was left on the island of Crete to set things in order and to appoint elders in every church. We need to understand that elders are important in the Lord's church and that we need to be working towards that. We men, we need to be striving to become suitable to be an elder. These words are given to us as an encouragement to grow in our faith. Well, Lord willing, next week we're going to be looking at Titus chapter 2. Please join us then, and thank you so much for being with us. Thank you, and goodbye for now.